Now let's start with Jeff Brown. Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, Joel, good morning. So I was wondering, or I'm doing a story on the Storm kind of capitalizing on their championship opportunities, winning 4 titles in the 4 times they've been to the finals. Obviously, you've been a part of the past 2 of them. Just kind of wanted to know, like, your mentality going into those finals. And then obviously, you were in the National Collegiate Championship game as well. Did that have any impact, or did that experience kind of give you anything going into the finals?
Not really. I mean, college is so different. Just because the league you're with so many better players. Yeah, being in championship games and playing at a high level, and having experience that does help, but it's such a different caliber of play. But I think for us, just being confident in who we are every time you step on the court helps, and knowing that we're playing with Sue helps a lot too. She's been there a couple of times, and having her wisdom and her guidance helping us kind of keep a level head helps a lot too. But I think just knowing who we are going into games gives us some confidence.
Awesome. Thank you, Joel.
All right. Do we have any other questions for Jewel, or we can let her go? Percy, why don't you hop on there? Percy, go ahead.
What's going on, Jewel, Loyd?
Hi.
Hey, I'm just curious about you and playing overseas. Can you tell me the things that you miss and the things that you don't miss about playing overseas?
I don't miss overseas at all, actually. I mean, it's a good experience, right? Like, you go over there and you grow and challenge yourself. You're constantly playing. But for me and how I learn and how I grow, it doesn't always fit how my lifestyle. But I've been able to be on some good teams overseas. I love Spain. I love Albanita. They're a great club, as well as I played on some really good clubs. So I was very blessed to be in good situations, but lifestyle overseas is just not meant for me. But yeah, we'll see. Who knows if I'll go back. But for right now, I'm focused on my development here and focusing on off the court things here in the States.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that second question, like who knows the future, but do you think you might ever go back? Because I know that in the CBA that they're prioritizing players staying home. So that's going to happen really quick here. Do you think you will ever go back and play overseas?
We'll see. I don't plan on it right now. My overseas focus is trying to be on the Olympic team. And we'll see. But, if I don't have to go overseas, I probably won't.
Hey, and then you played on the Turkish team that Sadie's and Fifth was on. Anything about that team and about that experience?
Gallo was my first team I played overseas with. Historically, they've been a pretty good competitive league and team. Yeah, I mean, they're in a good system. Sadie's played amazing overseas. Piff has been dominating overseas for many years. So, overseas is a little bit different mindset of who you are as a player. But yeah, Gallo was the first time I played with, and yeah.
Hey, just how difficult is this transition that they're having to make here, right? To just it just, from the outside looking in, it just feels like a quick turnaround from playing overseas, going through the protocols, and then bam, you're back in the WNBA, which is, as we know, one of the toughest leagues in the world.
I mean, it's what we do overseas. Once the W ends, we have a couple of days, and we got to go right overseas and start playing right away. So, unfortunately, a lot of players are used to this grind because that's kind of been our lives ever since we've been in the W. So, I mean, unfortunately, we're kind of accustomed to this chaotic lifestyle.
And then just 2 more things here. Just on Sadie's. Obviously, you've seen her entire career here. Just your thoughts on her. The player that you saw coming in and the player that she is now.
Sadie's is a point guard at heart. She's so smart. Her growth as a player and has been amazing to see. I mean, her confidence on the floor. I think that people don't understand how smart she is. She understands the game so well, so we could put her at different positions, and her ability to, obviously, her presence as a true 5 in this league has been felt and known. And so I'm glad she's she's back. We need her.
There you go. And just a thought on Sue Bird and just her the game that she had on Tuesday. We hadn't seen her go scoreless, and I don't think you've ever seen that. I think last time was like 2014. How do you think she'll respond?
I mean, I just told her the other day, I'm like, whenever you're open, shoot it. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Sue. You know, I give her confidence when she needs it, but whenever she's open, she needs to shoot the ball, regardless if she doesn't think she's open. So that's my job today and moving forward, to remind her to keep shooting.
There you go. All right, Loyd. Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, thanks, Jewel. We'll go ahead and let you go and get ready for the game and bring on Mercedes here in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Just getting Mercedes all set and ready to go. We'll be having her on here in just a sec. All right, and there we've got Mercedes, and we are ready to go. Go ahead and get our first question. Percy, go ahead and join and start us out here, Percy.
Awesome. There she is. She's back. Slim Sadie's Bones. Going on, kiddo? How you doing?
Not much. I'm doing well. Happy to finally be back.
There you go. Hey, just how do you pronounce that Turkish team that you played with?
Galatasaray.
Oh my goodness, it just rolls off the tongue.
Yes, sir, it does.
Hey, just if you could sort of talk about it, I heard, so the transition then from Turkey to the States, what was that like? I mean, for yourself and for Pip.
Yeah, it's been crazy. We just literally got back a few days ago, so we're probably still a little bit jet lagged, honestly, but we were ready to be home. Sadly, we missed the first couple games, obviously, but now that we're back, we're just trying to get adjusted, obviously, to the time and then I'll be active to play tonight, so I'm excited about that.
Were you able to get any, were you able to go home at all? Either to Oregon, see any family, do anything fun, or was it straight back to here?
Yeah, I was able to stop in Oregon real quick, but that was honestly just to gather my stuff and head up to Seattle. So it was a short amount of time, but I got to see my family really quick, which was nice.
There you go. To the court, what accounted for your big season in Turkey?
You said what? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, sure. What counted? Obviously I didn't see the games, but I can sort of take a look at your numbers, and it just looks like you exploded, sort of stat wise. What kind of went into that?
I honestly just wanted to keep the energy and the tempo that I was playing with in the bubble and just continue with that. So, I mean, I was just trying to work really hard. We went through, a number amount of players. Luckily, Piff came over around February and we were teammates for the rest of the season. So it was nice to have her there with me because we know how difficult it is overseas.
It would seem that it would be difficult to develop and get better because you're playing so many games, but were you able to work on parts of your game?
Yeah, I think overseas it's probably easier to work in game than off the court because you're so busy. We were also in EuroLeague, so that made us have more games during the week. So we weren't just playing one time a week, which was nice. So yeah, honestly, I think a lot of it just comes like extra drills, maybe after practice, but then in game is really important.
In terms of 2020 last year, in the WNBA, obviously it was a big adjustment for you, coming off of the previous season when you started, but was it a bigger adjustment than what you had expected?
No, not really. I'm comfortable in any role, honestly. I just want to do what's best for the team. So starting, coming off the bench, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just going to come in and hopefully produce energy for the team.
And then to that right there, so your role on this team this year, obviously there's so many new pieces, what do you think your role will be this year?
It's definitely going to be different. Honestly, I haven't been able to practice or anything, so I'm still working that out. But obviously, it's going to be different. We have a lot of new faces, which are really, really good faces for us. But the season is going to be fun for us. 2 games under us already. Obviously, missing Piff and I, and now Lou is away with 3-on-3. So I feel like it's going to be like that a lot this season, just with Olympics and all different whatever else is going on at this point. But it'll be fun for us to learn and just play through things like that.
And then you kind of touched on it earlier, so you said that you'll be activated for tonight's game. How quickly do you kind of expect to get back in there? Do you feel up to speed, or?
Yeah, I feel like I'll be comfortable with the speed. I'm in my 4th season now, so hopefully I'm comfortable with everything. But like I said, I haven't had time to practice with the team. Obviously, I went to Shootaround this morning, so I'm trying to just, get all the plays and schemes under my belt now.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Sadie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Percy. Kevin, go ahead, Kevin Pelton.
Hey, Sadie, did you have the chance to, where were you watching the first couple Storm games, and what was that like to not be able to be with the team for those?
Well, I was watching both of them from my couch at home, but it was obviously tough not being there and to be able to play with the team. But it was fun to watch because with a newer roster, obviously we still have our big 3, we still have our core, which is awesome. And then Ezzy, obviously from last year, but it was fun to watch. We obviously still have that defensive intensity and offensive threat, but as a whole, I think obviously the first game was great. We got a win. The second game, it was a little bit of a roller coaster up and down, but I'm honestly just excited to be back with the team now instead of watching from my couch.
Yeah, were there moments where you're like, man, I really wish I could be in there right now?
Oh, of course, yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Jeff Brown, go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Sadie's, welcome back. So Jewel was saying that you're really a point guard out there. Is that something like when you were younger that did you play point like during, little league and stuff like that?
Yeah, you didn't know I was a point guard? No, yeah, I played guard like most of the time growing up. I was always like tall, but I wasn't taller than everyone else. So I would play the guard position a lot. And then like later in middle school and high school is like when I really started actually playing the post.
And then do you think that kind of definitely helps like your overall game because it's not, you weren't just like trying to be a post this whole time.
Oh yeah, for sure. It definitely gives me different elements of the game. If Joel said I'm a point, then I'm a point. Okay.
And I think you touched on a little bit, but were there anything specifically that you were looking to develop this overseas season?
No, not specifically. I think me just overall as a player, I always try to improve in all areas because that's important to not just focus on one thing in your game, but obviously all aspects. So I was just trying to obviously grow my game, excuse me, and just get better all around.
And then I know you said you haven't practiced with the team, but you will be active. Have the coaches really kind of given you any indication as far as like playing time or if you're on a minutes restriction or anything like that?
Well, not really. I mean, they said they were going to throw me into the lineup at some point. So, I'll get a little bit of minutes tonight.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, Sadie's.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mercedes, for joining us. We're going to let you go and get ready for the game tonight, and we'll talk
Thank
to you all later.
All
Thank
right,
you for joining us.